So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual Healing Open Sessions. Great, wonderful that you joined today in this brand new day. It is your last day. It is our last day. And the last day before what? No, it's just the last day. It's like it ends all the time. And here's a new beginning, and here's a new beginning. But this is the last day. So I played the music that I really wanted to hear on my last day. So I'm really happy. Like before any rebirth can take place, you gotta do it right, so to speak, to come to the end of it. And whatever that means, you'll find out. For me, it was now to play these songs. So this will help me to undergo a rebirth, since I got it all. It's like everything is given and completely like free of needs at this point. Now, where are we going to start today then with the Spiritual Healing Open Sessions? This is in fact the continuation of yesterday's key lessons of the Infinite Way. But I'm not using the Infinite Way directly. But I'm using the idea that we shared about, was for one part was miracles, and the other part was inner listening, the essence or the importance of meditation, and the meditation as the real inner communication, not just closing your eyes and be still. No, it's like opening your consciousness for a new experience, very actively, on the edge of your seat, a high expectancy. Not having any expectations, but at the same time, like you can't wait for any sign, you could say, that is not from you, but given to you, from God, from your withinness, from peace, from love. It stirs you, it opens something up in you, and suddenly you feel a release of the necessity to hold on to who you think you are. That takes place, and suddenly it's I don't need to do that anymore. Great. And then for a moment, that is your experience. You release the necessity to hold on to you, to your ideas about yourself. You have possibilities enough to pick it up again, of course. So it's like there's nothing lost, but at the same time, it is a real occurrence in you. And this is what we train and call it a holy instant, call it a miracle, call it a real, say, opening up to the communication that is possible, the direct communication with your source. Of course that is possible because it is your source. So that's, yeah, we see this today in the meeting that we have in different ways coming back to us. So I selected two parts from two lessons, which the listening is really like emphasized and lovelinized, in the sense of it has become such lovely invitation to start to listen, to put everything else down for a moment, like, okay, take it easy. Don't hold on to this for now. Just we're going to try something else now. Now you really got to let go of these grievances. You really got to let go of all your concerns for just a moment. You can pick them up later, but now, for now, we're going to do it just like that. Now breathe. Now relax. Now breathe. Now relax. Now breathe. Yes, good. So this is really the training where it starts with. So these lessons that we use are like designed with a high degree of loveliness that will actually, if you really do them, melt you, simply. It's like it's only loveliness that's being offered. Why not follow loveliness? Why not? It's there, just for you, not for anyone else. Now I can relax into that for a moment and forget about any definition that I had about myself for a moment. So still and so serene and so lovely, just unbelievable. that is coming to you. So that's one part of this meeting. So another part is that I always do my program here. So another part is the daily lesson is a miracle prayer. And yeah, that's straight to the point, also in its loveliness. So that's something where we're going to start with. And later on, when we come into the practicality of this, we're going to perform an empty chair meditation. And you will find out what that means. But it's great. All to practice inner listening, to trust what is given to you, to let go of the idea that you need to analyze, does it come from God or does it come from the ego? Leave that for what it is. It doesn't make any sense at all to figure it out. So here we go. So we enter first in the loveliness of the miracle prayer. How can illusion satisfy God's Son? Father, the truth belongs to me. My home is set in heaven by your will and mine. Can dreams content me? Can illusions bring me happiness? What but your memory can satisfy your Son? I will accept no less than you have given me. I am surrounded by your love, forever still, forever gentle, and forever safe. God's Son must be as you created him. Today we pass illusions by, and if we hear temptation call to us to stay and linger in a dream, we turn aside and ask ourselves if we, the sons of God, could be content with dreams when heaven can be chosen just as easily as hell, and love will happily replace all fear. How can illusion satisfy God's Son? Thank you for being still with me and having a first experience, you could say, of what happens when you become still. And so that is always new. You can see that. It's like that's always new, but also there's a discovery you can make. Yeah, Joel said yesterday, for instance, like, no, the mind has no power. The mind, it's not about the mind. And I understand what he means when he says that, recognizing that, in fact, the human mind is a definition separate and apart from God. So it cannot have any power, since God is the only power. I understand that. But here, in the practice of daily practice with meditation, you come in touch with the responses of the mind. And that's inevitable. Like the mind has a lot of the presence in your human dream. Like your whole identity is based on it. So you cannot say it has no power. It has to be seen in the place where you actually are getting the reflections back. It's like if you believe this to be a dream and you believe that you are who you think you are, then in fact you gave all the power to the mind. That was a deliberate choice of you to do so because you really thought that that was you. and that has impact. Now in the transformational turnover, you go the change, the transfer, the transformation. It is really, you discover how the mind works, and that's an essential part in waking up, because you deal with it continuously. And I'll give some examples, of course, because then it becomes very, very clear in what I mean. So if you sit still, it is like, okay, I'm trying to sit still. I'm trying to meditate here. What do? I try to silence my mind and let everything become quiet, like letting the thoughts go instead of trying to follow them with my attention, if possible. Like that already is an exercise in itself. I let go of my attachment to the thoughts because I engage with them all day long, because I think that I'm that's part of my world. And I think I need to deal with it, and I have concerns about the future and all this. Like, I have my reasons why I do that. So this is how you use the mind as a human being. Now that's important to recognize. So this is, like I said, this is an essential part in the awakening. So there's a lot of psychology that is actually coming to the surface, and when you are waking up, because you constantly deal with a mind, with a certain tendency. Not that that's appropriate in your God experience. No, it is literally in the way of your God experience. But you believe that that is you, so you're not going to give that up right away. You believe that that is an essential part of your whole existence, and thinking that your existence has value, that's why you keep holding on to it. This is nothing new. And here's one more. Like I can list up a couple of things. So one other thing is this. It's like you're confronted with situations. During the day you're confronted with situations. Now when you perceive a situation the way that you do, with your eyes and with all this, like it has a certain response in you. You react to the situation. You're like, oh my God, oh no, I don't want that to happen. Or I'm scared that this is happening. I don't want to be part of this. Or it's like you have a confrontation with the dream, and that's basically always stirring something up in you. That is recognizable. That's just part of the normal human thinking. Now you see, there's a response that you give to something that appears to be outside of you, which we now know isn't outside of you. No, you first put it there, then it comes back to you, then you respond to it with, I have no idea that I put it there. No, this is coming to me, I'm a victim of that situation. So up to the point that I take responsibility for what I see, recognizing, like, I don't see it right away, but it must be coming from here, because there's literally nothing outside of my consciousness. See, then I'm already like 5 steps further in the whole development, if I can keep that in my awareness. But here's another thing, and that makes it even more complicated. There's a situation, someone is attacking you. It seems that way. Of course that is not true. Or someone is doing something that is really upsetting you. Whatever it is. Now what do? You respond to it because you perceived it, and your mind automatically has a response. It's like this, oh, this cannot be, or how can I help, or whatever the response is. Then you respond to it. You actually do that or respond to it. So now you're really deep into the situation. Can you tell? It's like first you perceive it, now you're going to respond to it, making it real. But it doesn't stop there, because say some minutes later you question yourself, like, was that so smart for me to do that, what I just did? I just did that, but now, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So in other words, first you respond to a situation. First you perceive a situation, then you respond to it. But then you do another thing, evaluating your response. And of course, the mind is engaged. Now it's going to adjust itself and trying to respond better the next time. So it's like anticipating a new situation, already ready to go, with a new response in case that situation comes up, and now you know better how to respond to it. See, this is like an increase of complexity, just in the illusion, just 3 steps. But I'm sure that you probably have situations where you're like 5 or 6 steps deeply into it, in your response to your response to your response, and on and on. In other words, you completely get lost in it and don't even know anymore how to respond to anything. Now this is actually the good part. So it works either way. Waking up you can do in 2 ways. You've heard this before, I've said this before, but it's like you can wake up in 2 ways. One is like the way of resistance, and the other one is the way of acceptance. Now the way of resistance is literally you go into the matter, you respond to your humanhood, you are completely involved until it becomes too much. Then you let it all collapse, because there's no way out. Literally you have no choice in the matter at all. Like you spend the prodigal son, you spend all your money and suddenly you find yourself between the porks and like the pigs, and the only thing you can think about is going home, but you know for sure that you don't want this any longer. Recognizable. So, and the other way is the way of acceptance. Like if you can learn a lesson by accepting it, the way that it is given, as the resolution, asking, for instance, asking Spirit for help right away when you're in the situation, not waiting, not first doing your response and then diving deeply into it until it becomes too much. Now directly inviting Spirit in. Now, whatever the outcome is not your concern any longer, because this situation is literally taken from you and used for you to see, to learn the lesson that is actually embedded in it. So here, like I said, the activity of mind in all this is then in the way of resistance. And the way of the mind is then that you get completely triggered continuously in resolving the response to the response to the response. You're continuously looking for new ways to respond to the situation because you did it wrong, and you sink slowly but certainly, you sink into a sinkhole, a sinkhole of despair and failure, doubting your capacities, doubting if anything is reliable, like experiencing yourself as a liar or as as a fake. So all of this happens in your transformation, which is wonderful, because it will bring you ultimately to the bottom of it, the bottom of, I have no idea how to respond to any of this. Now this could be your first prayer, you could say. Also in the way of acceptance, a situation occurs. Now the first step you do is you ask for help. It's like, I have no idea how to respond to this. Now the answer can be given to you. So whether you do this after a whole drama of who knows what, if that needs be, then it will be. If you can accept this lesson now, you skip the whole drama and you say like, okay, yeah, show me, because I have no idea how to respond to any of this. So this is essential. But you see, like, you have to recognize how your mind is responding to the situation, that you actually can take a look at it, and how to, in fact, use your mind in a constructive way. If a situation comes up that I perceive, I ask for help. I don't know how to respond to it. I've learned that by doing the mind training, for instance. I've learned nothing I see means anything. I don't know what anything is for. That's lesson 3 in the workbook. Now this lesson, you don't want to skip that. Like the first lesson is, my thoughts do not mean, or the thoughts that I'm thinking don't mean anything. They're like the things in this room. They're also meaningless. All the objects that I'm perceiving are meaningless. Everything that I have so much attachment to have actually no meaning. I released the attachment in order for me to start to see. And so this is then lesson 1 and 2. Same with your thoughts. Like, my thoughts do not really mean anything. And then, in fact, I don't know what anything is for. So all the occurrences that are taking place, I have to admit that I don't know. This is lesson 3. Like I said, you have to learn to engage your mind in a helpful way. If I remember in the situation, lesson 3, then I say, I don't know what anything is for. I wouldn't know how to respond to this. And that's you set yourself free of the responsibility to respond. Like, you have a responsibility, and you have used that as an ability to respond. But you don't have to use that. Well, of course you respond to every situation, whether you hand it over to spirit or not. But it's like, this is like, no, you don't respond to the situation. You don't know what anything is for. Now you ask for help. You invite spirit into the situation. Now this is like an incredible lesson. It takes a moment to get it and to actually see it at work, to really practice it. Because your mind needs to be trained in order not to fall into the trap of responding to everything. Thinking that there's a world out there, responding to it, making it real, in other words. And then coming back to your meditation eventually to release the whole bundle of concern and attachment. Now this is much quicker. Like, I don't know what anything is for. Spirit, help. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Now let's be still. I'm right here. Like, it doesn't take time, is what I'm saying. You don't need to go through a whole roller coaster drama in order to end up in the same place. You can if you really want to. If you train your mind, you don't need to do that. So these are like incredible lessons. That's what I just actually want to say that. It's like, these are important things to remember. So just to say that the mind has no power is not going to help you directly if you're in the middle of the process of coming to the core of your being, to become still inside yourself and actually start to hear and listen the still small voice of inspiration flowing through you on a moment-by-moment basis. That's the difference. So I'm really happy that we can take time to actually take a look at this too. Alright, so now I had my loveliness expressions, like the real lovely invitations to learn to listen by using 2 lessons. And a lesson is a lesson. So you saw this with lesson 1, 2, 3 too. It's like, yeah, lesson 1 needs to be learned. Yeah, not that you know it by heart. No, this needs to be practiced and demonstrated. Same with lesson 2 and lesson 3 and so forth. Now we're here at lesson, I think, 46 or so, where we step into a lovely invitation. Sleeping Truth. That's an interesting title. Wake, Sleeping Truth. Well, it will be clear what's meant by that in a moment. So here's, it's lesson 49. So within the first 50 days, you hear this. It is quite possible to listen to God's voice all day, without interrupting your regular activities in any way. The part of your mind in which truth abides is in constant communication with God. The part of your mind in which truth abides is in constant communication with God, whether you are aware of it or not. It is the other part of your mind, that you know so well, that functions in the world and obeys the world's laws. It is this part which is constantly distracted, disorganized, and highly uncertain. The part of your mind in which truth abides is in constant communication with God, whether you are aware of it or not. It is the other part of your mind that functions in the world and obeys the world's laws. It is this part which is constantly distracted, disorganized, and highly uncertain. The part that is listening to the voice of God is calm, always at rest, and wholly certain. It is really the only part there is. The other part is a wild illusion, frantic and distraught, but without reality of any kind. Try today not to listen to it. Try to identify with the part of your mind where stillness and peace reign forever. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly, reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. See, the part that is listening to the voice of God is calm, always at rest, and wholly certain. It is really the only part there is. The other part is like a wild illusion. Try not to listen to it. Try to identify with the part of your mind where stillness and peace reign forever. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly. Try and try again. Try and try again. Try and try again. Reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. So I'm saying trying and trying again with a specific reason. It's like try and try again. Because it is like you have to learn how this distracted part of your mind can be persuaded, you could say, can be passed by. And so one of the things that we do with meditation is, for instance, focus on your breath. Why do you focus on your breath? Well, your mind wants to do something. It needs to have, like, it really loves a good job. Like it wants to do something. Now it's focusing on the breath. So what does it do? In fact, it focuses on the breath. So it doesn't do other things. And here we go. Yeah, it really works. Like, oh yeah, I don't have time to do two things. It can only do one thing at a time. So it's like concentrating on the breath. Is it about breathing? Is it about that breathing is so important? No, it is about the mind needs to do something. The mind is persuaded to do something. It loves to do things. Like automatically it will do it. It wants it. It is an active thing that wants to do. So you see, like, that's making use of the mind, knowing the mind, how it works, and making use of it. It is dumb. It cannot think, so it needs instruction. So that's why we say, like, yeah, focus on the breath. Now you focus on the breath. So relaxing to do that. Why? Because I'm not doing other things, like being concerned, it's like overthinking stuff, or doing all that kind of stuff. Like doing other things that the mind does when it is left alone. The mind on its own is like in bad company. It is distracted, it is upset, and it is very highly responsive to any kind of input that it makes up for it to respond to. So knowing how the human mind responds, you persuade it, for instance, and with breathing. But there's another thing. Trying, for instance. You say, well, let's try this. And that's really wonderful. But what happens when you demand of yourself, of your mind, because you're identified with this distracted thing. It's like, what happens when you demand something of your mind? What happens is, what do you think happens? It says, no, I don't want to do that now. No, I don't want to do that now. No, 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 no. It's like a little child. It's like, here, eat your banana. It's like, no, 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 I don't want banana now. And this is the same with the mind. Like a direct response of anyone. Like, go to a supermarket, ask anyone anything, the direct response will be like, no, thank you. No. Do you want a piece of my chocolate? No, thank you. Do you want this? Do you want that? No. No, I don't need that. No, thank you. I will always be that. It's like, this is a natural response of the mind. It is not any different if you give the mind something to do. It says like, I actually don't feel that right now. I really don't want to do that. Okay. Now, how do you deal with that? Well, try again. It's like you persuade it into action, into the action that you want. So, not forcing it, not confronting it. No, just persuading it. Using the back door to enter in something like this. It's like, okay, I'm not willing to let go right now. Well, let's try in 5 minutes. I really feel I cannot sit still right now to meditate. Okay, let's try in 5 minutes. It's like, there will be a moment in which that just suddenly happens. And in the moment that you feel the resistance, it seems like it's impossible to ever be open again. It's like, oh no, meditation is nothing for me. I cannot do that. So I decide, no more. I'm not going to do that. And it's like, no, that's not necessary. So the next moment, try again. Try again. I don't want to read the lesson now. Okay, try again in 5 minutes. Why not? Pick up the book and see what happens. Here's the book. Nothing I see means anything. So I'm like, nothing I see means anything. I was like, oh yeah, wait. Oh, let me see, next sentence. And there you go. It's like little bites, not all at once, not shoveling it up your attention. It's like, no, just take it easy. Gently, work gently with this basically little child called the mind. Be gentle with it. Like, no, don't force it. Don't force it. Just lovely inviting it in. Oh, you don't want it now? Okay, let's do it later. Yeah, no pressure. It's all right. Speaking from experience, but it's great to see this at work. So in other words, you need to know how the mind works in order to do this. And these are just little things, but they're very helpful. And I see a chat. Oh, that's all different. Yeah, we're meeting right now. I'm meeting right here with you. This is where it happens. This is where it happens. It is not any other moment happening. If it isn't happening now, it's not gonna happen later. This is our appointment that we have. Like, it's happening right now. This is it. Try again. Now join. Try again. See this as your appointment. See this as your healing session. Try again. Yeah, this is really how it works. Like, no, this is it. This is it. Now we're doing that. Now give that everything. Release as much as you can of your tendency, like whoever you are, like the tendency to engage with the mind as if it is something that is so hard to take care of or something. It's like, no, try again. Invite spirit in to help you. Be willing to look at it another time, like to take another look at things, to invite it gently in. And that's why this lesson is that we just read is literally, this lesson is literally formulated in that way. Try to do this. No pressure, but try to do this. The part that is listening to the voice of God is calm, always at rest and wholly certain. It is really the only part there is. The other part is a wild illusion, frantic and distraught, but without reality of any kind. Try today not to listen to it. Try to identify with the part of your mind where stillness and peace reign forever. Yeah, not this frantic part, but the peaceful part, the stillness part in you. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly, reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly, reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. See, now we skip over to 109. We ask for rest today and quietness, unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. We have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. What is that? We ask for rest today. We ask for peace and stillness. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. We have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God is the thought that we were talking about. I rest in God. This thought will bring you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, safety and happiness that you seek. Rest and quiet, peace and stillness, safety and happiness. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world, and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize Himself. I rest in God. Rest in quiet, peace and stillness, safety and happiness. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you. I rest in God. It's a great way to, it's like a beginner's exercise, and since we're all beginners, it's really wonderful. Empty chair meditation. Now here it is like a guided visualization, but in fact it is something else. So it's like, okay, this is the form that it looks like to have at this point. And okay, I gotta press something here. So I'm reading this to you, and you only have to follow the instructions for just a moment. So give it a shot. Try to do this. Try, let yourselves be persuaded into a listening mode. And so here we go. So this is a simple guided visualization to quiet the mind and create space for the subtle voice to emerge. How to do it? Find a quiet spot, well, you already did that, and sit upright in a comfortable chair. Now the visualization. close your eyes and imagine the room you are in now. Yeah, imagine that room. Like, okay, I can do that. I imagine the room that I'm sitting in. Now, imagine a second identical empty chair positioned right next to you. Yeah, that's doable too. It's like, here's the second chair. It's empty. Nobody's sitting on it. It's empty. And now what we do is like we invite the inner still voice. And we say, invite my inner still voice to sit in that empty chair. I invite my inner still voice to sit in that empty chair. So now we're practicing stillness. So here we give your mind something to do. Focus on your breath. And don't forget to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Or, yeah. Focus on your breath for 5 to 10 minutes. So we're going to do that now. So the goal is not to force an answer of any kind, but to simply be present in the presence of your inner still voice. Imagine it sitting patiently next to you, a quiet, non-judgmental friend. So no pressure, you don't have to have an answer or have something coming to you. It doesn't have to be that. It's just simply being present in the presence of your inner voice. It's there. It's sitting in the chair. Just like a quiet, non-judgmental friend. Completely still. I invite my inner still voice to sit in that empty chair right next to me. If you have a question in your mind that comes up, you can softly ask it. Whatever the question is, you want to ask the still small voice. But then immediately you return back to breathing and openly waiting and listening. So no need to analyze what's going on. Just being open to notice subtle changes or cues from the empty chair. So still focusing on your breath instead of trying to make it work in some kind of way. So you can still say, like, I invite my inner still voice to sit in that empty chair. My quiet, non-judgmental friend. So now we come to the last part of the empty chair meditation, and that's in fact expressing the presence in the empty chair, thanking the presence in the empty chair, and slowly bring your awareness back to your actual physical room that you're in. Thank you so much for joining in this meditation experiment, I can say. So I hope that was a great experience for you in terms of how it was for you. I don't know the outcome of doing this. Yeah, it was great or wonderful. If you feel like sharing something about it, you're welcome to do that. It's like, you never did this before, probably, this way. Oh, that was lovely. Oh, great. Thank you. I'm happy that it worked for you. So this is available. I can share it with you. It's available as a PDF. Yeah. All right. So the next part is then, what are we going to do now? Is there anyone with a request, a healing request? We're all healed and whole? Great, wonderful. Yeah. All right, so let's then just be still together and take time to relax into the inner voice and into the healing light that is available. So thank you so much for your presence today. And so I'm playing a few songs just to allow yourself to relax deeply and see what occurs. Why you must love God more than anything else in the world. I've realized by searching for lasting love that it was someone else who cared for me through all human loves. The divine has loved me as mother, as father, and as friends. But why are we made to feel love for our family members and friends, only to watch them slip away one by one? These events take place to help us realize that it is God who is loving behind the loved ones. You should understand the importance of cultivating divine relationship with God and not wasting any more time. The difficulty about this motion picture of life is that all realities seem real and all realities seem unreal. Each night in sleep the world is made to disappear from our consciousness, so we might understand that the material universe is not real. This lesson of sleep comes not to frighten us, but to make us seek the reality of God. You can never be satisfied with anything but God and His love. His Spirit is the reality that nothing else can match. Don't yearn for human love, it will vanish. Behind human love is the spiritual love of God. Seek that. The greatest love you can experience is the communion with God in meditation. The love between the soul and spirit is the perfect love. The love you are all seeking. When you meditate, the love grows. Millions of thrills pass through your heart. If you learn to control sex attraction and attachment to human beings, and if you strive to love all and to meditate more deeply, there will come into your life such love as you have never dreamed possible. If you meditate deeply, a love will come over you such as no human tongue can describe. You will know this, His divine love, and you will be able to give that pure love to others. In the consciousness of one who is immersed in the divine love of God, there is no deception, no narrowness of caste and greed, no boundaries of any kind. When you experience that divine love, you will see no difference between flower and beast, between one human being and another. You will commune with all nature and you will love equally all mankind. True love is divine, and divine love is joy. The more you meditate seeking God with a burning desire, the more you will feel that love in your heart. The greatest romance is with the infinite. You have no idea how beautiful life can be when you suddenly find God everywhere. When He comes and talks to you and guides you, the romance of divine love has begun. There's no one to whom we owe love more than to God, and there is no love sweeter than the love God gives to those who seek Him. So why spend all your time pursuing temporary human love? Conjugal, familiar, fraternal, all forms of human love have blind alleys. Divine love is the only perfect love. It is God who is playing hide and seek in the corridors of heart, that perchance behind lesser human loves you may find His all-satisfying love. God doesn't readily respond to us because we are shy before Him. We fail to show how much we want Him. Don't be afraid of Him. Call Him your own and pursue Him unceasingly, in thought and in action, and you will find Him to be the greatest haven of safety. So many years are gone from our lives already, and only so many years, weeks, days and hours are left. Don't waste time. In your heart, tell Him night and day, Lord, I want Thee. Never be insincere about that. Love God. Talk to Him every second of your life, in activity and in silence, with deep prayer, with the unceasing desire of your heart, and you shall see the screen of delusion melt away. Don't pray for home or for money or worldly love or friendship. Don't pray for anything of this world. Enjoy only what the Lord gives you. All else leads to delusion. No other duty is important if it takes your thought and desire away from your duty to God. All else is illusion. Nor should you question God. You will reap only doubt. You will not be able to understand His laws until you become one with Him. So why waste time trying to understand them by an intellectual approach? Don't try to solve these riddles of life. You will be lost. When you find God, in the last chapter, He will give you the solutions to all the enigmas of human life, and you won't be able to question His wisdom when you hear His replies. Live with God in your heart and have no fear in the world. Fear will be afraid of you. You will be free from this cosmic delusion. Then you will smile. I know at last the mystery of it all. But don't try to know first. Love God first. Then He will tell you everything, and you can smile with an eternal smile. I want to instill this understanding in your hearts until you realize that God is important, more important than anything else, and until you spend your life in seeking to please Him, you are not spiritually evolved at all. Man has come on earth solely to learn to know God. He is here for no other reason. To all those who seek God and love Him, He tells of that great life where there is no pain, no old age, no war, no death, only eternal assurance. In that life, nothing is destroyed. There is only inevitable happiness that will never grow stale, a happiness always new. So that is why it is worthwhile to seek God. All those who sincerely seek Him will surely find Him. Those who want to love the Lord and who sincerely wish in their hearts to know Him will find Him. You must have an ever-increasing desire for God day and night. He will acknowledge your love by fulfilling His promise to you throughout eternity. Then you shall know joy and happiness unending. Use the night hours as much as you can, and the early morning, and all free moments between demanding duties to pray inward to God with all your soul. Reveal thyself. Solitude is the price of God realization. Wake, waste no more time in blind believing. Follow the tested methods of attaining self-realization and know God.